astronauts. Welcome to the Digital Galaxy Podcast. I'm your pilot, Justin.
And I'm Paul, your Nike high top wearing, hoverboard riding, DeLorean driving co pilot. Buckle up because today, in episode 6, we're discussing advertising and virtual reality. The information in this episode comes from Verizon Wireless, Business Insider, MSN, IGN.com, and Thrill Seeker Virtual Reality on YouTube. Justin, can you fill the crew in on what virtual reality or VR is?
Yeah, so according to the Merriam Webster Dictionary, VR is an artificial environment which is experienced through sensory stimuli, such as sights and sounds, provided by a computer in which one's actions partially determine what happens in the environment.
So, what companies have started to invest in this type of technology?
So far, quite a few. We know that Google, Facebook, Nvidia, Samsung, Sony, and many other companies have already invested into this technology. Verizon, interestingly enough, just launched
Mhm.
with what's called the Verizon Media Immersive, which is an XR extended reality platform powered by 5G.
Hmm. That's pretty huge news. As everyone probably knows, Verizon Wireless is the leading mobile network in the US right now. So, according to a press release from Verizon last month, quote, the launch of Verizon Media Immersive unlocks new opportunities for our partners in advertising by providing the latest AR and VR capabilities to help them connect and engage with consumers in a more impactful and interactive way. Justin, can you explain to the crew why this is such a big deal?
Yeah, of course. So, according to the Business Insider, quote, the global virtual reality and gaming market size is expected to reach $92.31 billion by
Well,
2027. That's a projected 30.2% increase in the market over the next 7 years, which is
uh,
ridiculous.
that's incredible. Yeah, if you have money, invest in VR.
Absolutely.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not a financial advisor in any sorts, but it might be a good idea. So, why do you think that number is so high? Have you heard any recent news in the gaming world about VR?
Yeah, so Sony, the creator of PlayStation, recently filed for a PSVR patent. The images from this patent show an image of what a possible VR view could be looking like with advertising imaging around the edges of the view screen. This
Hmm.
is the summary of the patent. Quote, one possibility as a new marketing technique associated with widespread use of HMDs, which are head mounted displays, would
Mhm.
be to display additional content such as advertisements in a VR or AR space. Techniques for effectively presenting such additional content in a VR space or AR space have yet to be sufficiently proposed.
So you're saying you'll see, advertisements in your goggles, if you will, while playing your favorite video game, um, possibly in the main menu of your game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the load screens. It's
Yeah.
This opens up like an entire world for advertisers. I feel.
Yeah, it's going to be hit or miss for sure. But what about other industries, Paul? Like surely gaming isn't the only avenue for these ad streams.
Yeah, that's right. Just That's just the gaming market. There are endless capabilities of VR in many industries. Google has been quietly experimenting with like holographic goggles and smart tattoos, if you can believe it.
Huh.
According to an article in MSN, Google has been involved in several projects that include smart armwear called a smart sleeve, smart tattoos called skin marks. The tattoo can be used as a remote almost to control a device by squeezing your own skin,
Hmm.
essentially touching it, swiping it in a certain direction. It seems again like the technology for VR and AR is kind of limitless.
Oh yeah, it's only going to go up from here for sure.
Yeah. And what have you heard about some say privacy issues maybe surrounding these new technologies?
Well, there's been some huge concerns about privacy when using virtual reality. However, I do know this company called AdMix has an idea of adding advertisements in like a VR space immersively. For
Mm,
example, if a VR game was made in Times Square, New York, the jumbotrons, the LED screens would all display real-world ads just as they are in real life. This
mhm.
is not an intrusive way to advertise. This is also cool because the game developers can make money from the ads and they're advertising a real product. So whoever is, displaying the advert can potentially increase sales for that company.
Hmm.
And that being in an immersive way, me as a VR gamer, I do have a VR headset. That would
Hmm.
be extremely cool to see.
I wonder if that would actually drive down the cost of the games themselves too, if they get
Yeah,
so much advertising dollars.
yeah, I could totally see that. But again, it would depend on what kind of game was made by the developers. Like,
Hmm.
not every game is going to be in Times Square, New York, and you
No,
can't
no.
exactly throw a jumbotron in the forest. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can't imagine playing Resident Evil and having just a huge billboard of,
yeah.
Cheetos or something. I mean, that'd be
So
cool, but
it's definitely got some quirks they need to figure out,
hmm,
but I see that being a kind of a better direction to go in than kind of having
right.
your FOV skewed. But
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
absolutely. Yeah, it's something also to keep, an eye on for sure. But in summary, virtual reality is an artificial environment which is experienced through sensory stimuli such as sights and sounds provided by a computer and in which one's actions partially determine what happens in the environment. Companies have been investing heavily into these technologies, and the gaming industry is expected to take large leaps in market size because of patents being filed for advertising in VR headsets.
And also, don't forget, this is just the tip of the iceberg for VR. There are many, many, many more products coming out: treadmills, haptic suits, haptic gloves. It's
Hmm.
just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this episode today. Don't forget to follow our channels on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. You can also find this episode in the written form on our website, digitalgalaxypodcast.com. This episode was created by Forest Social, a social media app where you are in charge of your data and community. Check it out at forestsocial.com. Thanks for coming along on our journey, and we'll see you guys in the next one.